Hello Divine Masculine and welcome to your power message for Wednesday, Wonderful Wednesday. So I'm going to bring in the Divine Masculine Message Tarot today and a few other decks to see what's going on. Well, first of all, I want to say, if you are new to the channel, the masculine can be a man or a woman. Okay, so just like the feminine can be a man or a woman. So this isn't gender specific. Okay, this is the energy you are operating in right now. And remember, when you are a twin flame in union, your energies will be balanced because we've all got masculine and feminine aspects within ourselves. So if you're a feminine watching this, for example, you class yourself more as a divine feminine, yet you experience what I'm talking about today or in some of the previous videos, it's very likely you're either tapping in very powerfully with your twin and what they are going through, or you are experiencing your own divine masculine energy. So sit with the feeling and think, is this my energy? Is this their energy? Or is this collective energy I'm connecting with right now? Because we can also feel things on a collective vibrational energy level, especially if you are working on service, helping others, giving, because you are allowing all the energies to, be a factor around you so you can feel and help the best you can. So if you're also experiencing other people's energies, it can also affect you in that way too. But ultimately, this is a message about the divine masculine, what they are going through and how they are healing. Now, physically, there's a trauma release going on. So if you've been experiencing any heavy symptoms, especially over the weekends, they may be easing off now. But they are giving me, when I'm connecting with you guys, throat issues again, phlegm in the throat. Because you're preparing to reach out, you may even have a sore throat. You may feel that you are still a bit sniffly. You may have runny eyes because you were upgrading, you're preparing for the next stage. And if you have had frozen shoulder, any heaviness in the body, heaviness in the legs, it's about movement. So you're kind of being asked to just regroup and recharge and take a moment because, you may feel that you need to move forward, but you aren't. So it's creating this stuck feeling in the body, or maybe you just need to slow down and think and work out a plan. So sit with the energy you're experiencing. Where is it in the body? Why? And you'll understand what you're being shown. So thank you, angels, collectively for the masculines then, what are they going through today? So the first energy we've got coming up is death. Now, this is really interesting because right at the end of the feminine reading today, I spoke about this. I spoke about how death is a rebirth. It's about transformation. So this is the end of the old you and the start of the real you. It's not even like the new you, it's the real you, because the real you has always been inside of you. Okay, you're just opening up to the new aspects of it right now. This is why you feel different. You don't want to do certain things you did. You don't want to, keep doing the things you've been doing for years. You may want to change your job. Your relationships aren't serving you anymore because you're changing. It says, I am changing. So feminines, if you're cross-watching your masculine is saying to you today, I am changing. This is about real, deep, rapid transformation. And, again, it doesn't matter how long you've been on this journey for. The time is now. The more we think about, it's been this long, it's been that long, the more we are giving energy to what we don't want. We're putting energy into that vibration. And the masculine is very clear. The masculine is changing from the stag into the eagle. The stag will always be the promise of union and the promise of mission and the promise of the love. But the eagle is that promise of coming home. So the stag is a transformation that takes place a lot like when a caterpillar goes into a chrysalis and it has to get stronger and aware and awake to become the butterfly. That's really the stag phase. And the eagle is, when he flies away, the butterfly flies off. So the masculine is saying it, I am changing. So masculines, you know that you are changing. You know that you are no longer the person you were. And you're still becoming who you'll be because that person is the real you. Okay, great change is happening for our connection. So right now there's great change occurring. And that's what you're being shown today. So I'm going to bring in the B Oracle deck. I've used all these cards I'm using today. I'm using in the feminine readings as well. So what do the masculines need to know today? I'm also going to bring in the empowering question. So as a masculine, what question do you need to be asking yourself today? We've got a few coming out here. So you may be questioning your own behaviour. You could be questioning things going on. These are questions or things you need to know from the heart. And I'm going to do you a power thought as well for the masculine as well. So the first thing we've got coming up is I'm healing. Okay, I'm healing. So you're saying I'm changing, I'm transforming, I'm healing. My healing is already in progress. Your healing is already in progress. It says my willingness to forgive, and this means forgive yourself for the things you've done and the way things have happened. It begins your healing process. Say to the universe today, I allow the love from my own heart to wash through me, cleansing me and cleaning me and changing me and, healing me, and every part of my body is cleansed. And I know I am worthy of healing. And I know I am worth healing. So really you're like this flower that's growing. And the thing is, feminists, if you pick this flower too soon, it's going to die. The flower's got to bloom. It's like if you take that, thing out the oven. Say if you're cooking you're baking a cake and you take it out the oven too soon, it's not going to be risen properly. It won't taste good. Okay, you'll have to throw it in the bin and start again. And that's sometimes what we do. We try before it's ready. We push things, we force things when we are being guided to trust in divine timing. And sometimes things aren't ready, whether it's the situation, the masculines. This is about you changing. My healing is already in progress. And, it just reminds me, I've been watching a program on Netflix called Sex Life. Now, I know so many of you have been watching this, and there's so many signs in there about twin flames. And, spoilers, so if you don't want to know, turn it off right now and come back in a second. But spoilers, the part that really stood out to me was two things. First of all, there's this guy in it, Connor, and he gets married to this lady and he goes through all this chaos and all this finding himself, and he goes through alcohol, he goes through drugs, he goes through, kind of experiencing other people, he goes through real deep pain. And then he realises who he is and he makes his way back to his old girlfriend because he goes to her and he says, I wasn't the man you needed 12 years ago. Or however long it was, I think it was 12 years ago. But I am that man now. I am that man. I'm ready now to be the man that you deserve. So it took that 12-year period of growth to become the person he already was inside, but he had to find it. And that's what the masculines do. They love you. When you first come together, divine feminine, your masculine loves you and wants you and desires you, but they can't sometimes give you what they want to because they have to grow and evolve and transform like Connor did. And it was the same for Brad. Brad ended up with Billy, but he had to go through his own transformation first, as did she. So in other words, you both change it. And that's why, when I'm doing this reading, I'm addressing feminine and masculine, because you are one. You are one. This healing is already in progress. And this is definitely connected with the trauma release. And I spoke about that pain being brought up into the body. Things that have been repressed inside and held back are coming up to the surface now for healing. It says you will never fully understand what unity means, but you will come to feel what unity means. And this, I promise you, look at this. A promise of union here, unity, being in a relationship with each other. It says you'll never fully understand what unity means because it's not understood really with the mind. It's felt with the heart, it's felt with love. But you'll come to feel what it means. And this I promise you. So you'll feel what this love is and the reasons why. How different would the world be if you would but attempt for one day to replace use with union? Amazing. Use with union. So remember, this is about you understanding that, you don't use each other. You are one. And everything that you experience is a tool to get you where you're meant to be. It's a catalyst to union. And your purpose now is the holiest possible. And all of heaven is with you. All that you need and all that's needed is your continuing willingness. All that can cause you to fail is giving up. So the message here is, don't give up. Okay, you might be thinking, feminines especially if you're cross-watching, you might be thinking, what's my life purpose? What's our mission together? And the angel's saying to you, your purpose right now is what matters. And it's the holiest purpose of all. that heaven is all around you and with you, and that you have support, and it's your continuing willingness. In other words, your fight, your drive, your perseverance to not give up, and to understand that you're already in union. You're already in union even if you can't feel that yet. We've got the brood. So what I'm feeling with this is the number 5. It's about changes, and it's about, overcoming emotions. And, the word brood, what they show me is like sometimes we get very broody for what we want. They say, oh, you want a child, I'm broody. I want that child, I feel it inside. So this is the desire for what you want. You're being pulled towards it. You're being pulled towards what you want, and that's what I'm feeling with this. So the questions, masculines, to be asking yourself today is, what kind of advice on life would my old self give to my current self? Now, your old self, may not recognize your current self. And your old self may say, oh, hide or run, and you're overcoming those things. So you're becoming the observer of your own journey now in your life, and you're realizing how the old self, the old you, does no longer serve you. What is my life like when it's in balance? When your life is in balance, you feel at peace, you feel good, you're with your feminine, you know that your feminine is the balance of you. You are one. Because when you're together, you feel whole and complete. Yet you can feel whole and complete in this moment now. So what's your life like when it's in balance? It feels good to you. It feels peaceful. It feels exciting. What would you do if you had enough time? And what do you do when you have time? So say to yourself today, if I had enough time, what would I do? Your mind is this garden, and you can visualize what you want with your imagination. So you might think, well, if I had enough time, I'd go and do this, I'd go and do that, I'd try for this, I'd try for that. And the angels say you have the time. It's not over for you, it's just beginning. Your life is starting. So the death card is the transformation, the change to become who you're meant to be. So in other words, you don't just have to, want these things. You can have these things. And that's what I feel the brood is bringing in. But this is also about collective masculine energy, coming together, moving your way forward, collective desire for the next stage. I hope this helps. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon.